I want to talk with you about a way that we can give healing energy to our families. And particularly, maybe we talk about this as how we give energy to someone in our family who's in need of help and what we can do for them. And we generally need permission from someone in our family before we are allowed to use our healing capacities to help them. But we don't need to ask permission if we're using the Antares spheres. So I want to talk about helping people by using the Antares spheres because they don't intervene in the person. They're not changing the outer substance of the person or changing the outer person. Of course, what they're doing is developing the inner light within a person. So that's a kind of support and help we can always give people in our lives, and particularly, our family members who we're so attached to when we want to give love and we want to do something. Here's something that we can do. So I'll guide you through the process. And for this, maybe if you think about someone in your family that you want to give loving light to, think about that person. And we'll do this together as I think about one of the members of my family. So to start with, I'm going to ask for an Antares sphere of oneness to be placed around me to help set my space, and also to put me into the highest possible alignment that I can be in, align myself and dedicate myself to oneness. And you do this along with me. Ask for an Antares sphere of oneness to be placed around and through you. Ask for an Antares sphere of oneness around you and through you. An Antares sphere of oneness around you and through you. And by this, you are dedicating yourself to alignment and oneness. All of your energy is drawn into that alignment, placed into harmony with oneness. And from that place of dedicating ourselves to the highest standard we can now bring to mind the person that is in our family who we want to give some healing support to. Think about that person. And maybe visualize that person is in front of you, that an image of that person is in front of you. Think about them and think about their needs and think about what's happening to them in their lives right now. And I'm going to put my hands around the image of the person I'm thinking of. You don't have to put your hands around the image, but I think it's often useful to do that because of the energy that we can create with our hands. But you can do this without your hands, and you can do it just by the power of your intent, that the healing energy flows to that person. So let's visualize that person together. And now ask for an Antares sphere of oneness to be placed around that person. An Antares sphere of oneness around and through that person. An Antares sphere of oneness around and through that person. And give it a little bit of time to develop. Give it energy and let it get stronger and stronger. What happens is that the sphere holds that alignment with oneness and holds that alignment with something so high that it has an influence on all the energy in this person's energy body. So you're influencing all of the energy in this person's energy body to come into alignment with their true selves and into alignment with oneness. And now let's give this some boost. Let's ask for an Antares sphere of purity to be placed around this person. An Antares sphere of purity. An Antares sphere of purity around the person and your family who you want to give this loving energy to. And that Antares sphere of purity helps to release all the energies that are not in alignment with their true selves, things that are not part of them as they truly are, helps to fade away, helps to give reinforcement to the true self, helps to build the inner light of the true self within that person. Now we ask too for an Antares sphere of balance around and through this person. An Antares sphere of balance around and through this person that you love. And let that sphere grow in its strength and its intensity. And that Antares sphere of balance operates throughout this person's entire energy field. First, it's operating on the energy field as a whole to bring balance to it, to strengthen the central column. And it's also working through all the cells of the body and the organs of the body, helping to bring balance at every level. So now let's ask for an Antares sphere of clarity to be placed around the loved person in our family. An Antares sphere of clarity. We ask for an Antares sphere of clarity to be placed around them. And this brings their lives in touch with the multidimensionality of their existence, to experience themselves not just on the level of the third dimension, but to experience themselves as multidimensional beings. So if their issues, like most people, are things at the third dimension, this provides a broader context for them. And we ask now for an Antares sphere of harmony to be placed around them. An Antares sphere of harmony. An Antares sphere of harmony around and through them. And we give that sphere a little time to develop and get stronger. And that sphere helps to lift all separations, any ways in which separations are affecting their life, ways that they've cut themselves off from possibilities by their concepts, by their actions. Everything is brought back into connection, to be part of the oneness of all things. To find that you're connected to everything that's around you and everything in your life. So we've used the Antares spheres now to aid this person. And the aid that we're giving them is the strengthening of their inner self, the strengthening of their true self. And we can let go then and do that in in the hope and the expectation that they're able, from the strength of their inner self, to overcome the obstacles in their life and to bring themselves to their next stage of development. With love and light.